So Smoke's a pretty cool operator. He's got gas grenades that turn the entire room into applesauce for 11 seconds. He's got pretty cool area denial, and is kind of really goddamn terrifying, because if I saw him coming towards me, I'd probably piss myself. This guy has more applesauce than even Gram Gram, who needs that to live, because Gram Gram's got no teeth and can't chew no apples. As far as his loadout goes, applesauce aside, he's got an FMJ9, which is a pea shooter and has great recoil, because I imagine he is shooting apple slices at his enemies, and apple slices would not produce much recoil for, I don't think there's any gunpowder in apple slices. Smoke also has a shotgun, which I personally like to use because it turns him into a lurker, and that is fun because just randomly pulling up on the block and shooting tow trucks at people can have its advantages in combat. As far as apple metaphors goes, I would say if the FMJ9 is shooting apple slices at people, the shotgun is like turning them into apple sauce.
Babes in position.
Smoke also carries the SMG-11, which is pretty cool because it's basically a second primary weapon, in which you can destroy anything that is too far to be sneezed on by your shotgun. I do think that he is a relatively simple operator, but does allow for more intricate playstyles, in which I use him where I like to lurk for a couple rounds, scaring the enemy to always watch their backs, and then for the rest of the match I switch to a more anchory playstyle depending on how my team decides to become Cav mains and completely leave objective unprotected. When I do lurk, I stay close to objective in order to dispense applesauce once there's 30 seconds left in the round, making pushing into said objective almost impossible. Also, can we just point out that Smoke is literally like a living, breathing war crime? Like, he's the type of dude to walk up to a Geneva Convention and spit on everybody in the building. Obligatory World War II jokes aside, I would say Smoke's a pretty cool dude. I could see myself cracking a cold, refreshing Minute Maid juice box next to him. Anyhow, my verdict on Smoke is I'd say he's pretty good at area denial and in general just a fun operator to play. All in all, my rating, I would say 8 out of 10. Would Apple again. This is the part of the video where I switch to just playing Smoke clips that may or may not be overly edited depending on how lazy I am.
Secure the container. Hostile activity. Neutralize the threat. All friendlies. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds to go. One friendly remaining. Be advised, Op 4 has located the bomb.
Reload it.
Op 4 has located a bomb. You know what to do.
Babes in position.
Op 4 has located a bomb. You know.
That's the beauties in the...
Op 4, last operator standing.
This lad has more apples than Gran Graham's apple orchard. Apples everywhere. I don't know why I wanted to talk about apples. Because he's a British guy who commits war crimes. I don't know why I put so much apple in the script. This guy does have a lot of applesauce, seeing he has more than even Graham, and she needs applesauce to live, for she has no teeth and cannot chew. Smoke. He also has the SMG-11, which is pretty booling, because it's basically a second primary if somebody is too far to be sneezed on by my shotgun. He is relatively simple in the way I play him, as a lurker who flanks the enemy a couple times, and then leaving them slightly spooked for the rest of the match, in which I switch to a more anchory playstyle, depending on how my team decides to decide. He's a pretty cool dude. I'd see myself cracking a cold, refreshing Minute Maid next to him. Anyhow, my verdict on Smoke is I think he's a pretty cool